If you keep making excuses for his behavior, you might be missing the one warning sign that changes everything. Today, we're talking about the red flags women miss in relationships and why we ignore them even when deep down we know something's wrong. I'll explain the psychology behind it in a way that actually makes sense. He never takes responsibility, and you're always the bad guy. He says things like, "I'm sorry you feel that way," instead of, "I'm sorry I hurt you." Every argument ends with him explaining why it wasn't really his fault. It was his stress, his past, his bad day, or something you did that triggered him. Somehow, you always end up apologizing to him. What's really going on? This is called deflection. It's a defense mechanism. His ego can't handle being wrong, so his brain automatically rewrites the story to protect him. Think about it. Admitting you messed up feels bad. It's uncomfortable. Most people can push through that discomfort because they care about the other person. But some people will do anything to avoid that feeling, even if it means twisting reality. Here's the thing. "I'm sorry you feel that way" is not an apology. It's a way of saying, "Your feelings are the problem, not my actions." He's acknowledging that you're upset, but refusing to take any blame for it. It's like if someone stepped on your foot and said, "Sorry, your foot hurts," instead of, "Sorry, I stepped on you." And the worst part? This teaches you, over time, to stop trusting yourself. Every time you accept one of these fake apologies, your brain learns that maybe your feelings don't matter as much as keeping the peace. You start thinking, maybe I am too sensitive, or maybe I did overreact. Before you know it, you're not even bringing up problems anymore because it's too exhausting. Why it matters. Without real accountability, nothing ever changes. You can't build trust with someone who won't admit when they're wrong. And slowly, this pattern wears you down. You become smaller, quieter, less sure of yourself. You start explaining away behavior that you'd never accept from a friend treating another friend this way. He makes you question your own reality. You bring up something that hurt you, and by the end of the conversation, you're not even sure it happened anymore. He says things like, "That's not what I said," "You're remembering it wrong," "You're being crazy," or "You're too emotional." You walk away confused, doubting yourself, wondering if maybe you are the problem. What's really going on? This is called gaslighting, and it's more common than you think. The term comes from an old movie where a husband slowly convinces his wife she's losing her mind. But in real life, it's usually more subtle. Here's how it works. Your brain stores memories, but those memories aren't perfect. They're more like impressions. A manipulative person can exploit this by confidently insisting that things happened differently. And because we're wired to trust people we love, and because we naturally doubt ourselves sometimes, we start thinking, maybe he's right and I'm wrong. Let me give you an example. You tell him, when you said X, it really hurt me. He responds, "I never said that. You're making things up. Why are you always trying to start fights?" Now you're not even talking about your hurt feelings anymore. You're defending whether or not the thing even happened. See how that works? He's shifted the entire conversation. And here's the really messed up part. Sometimes he'll say something hurtful, you'll react, and then he'll say, "I was joking, why are you so sensitive?" Now you feel bad for not having a sense of humor. But here's the truth. If a joke hurts someone, and they tell you it hurt, and you keep doing it, that's not a joke anymore. That's just meanness with plausible deniability. There's also a pattern called DARVO. Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. Watch for this. You express your hurt. He denies it. He attacks your character. You're crazy, too sensitive, always starting drama. Suddenly he's the victim and you're the bad guy. You end up comforting him and apologizing. If this sounds familiar, that's a major red flag. Why it matters. Over time, this destroys your self-trust. You stop believing in your own perceptions. You second-guess everything. That anxiety you feel constantly, that's not you being paranoid, that's your gut screaming that something is wrong. I've seen women who used to be confident and sure of themselves become shells of who they were, all because someone spent months or years telling them their reality wasn't real. Your mind isn't playing tricks on you. Your feelings are valid. If you felt hurt, you felt hurt, period. His attention is unpredictable, and it's messing with your head. Some days he's amazing, the guy you fell for, attentive, loving, present. Then suddenly he goes cold. Texts go unanswered, plans get canceled. He's busy or stressed or just distant. You don't know what you did wrong. Then, just when you're about to give up, he comes back full force, sweet messages, promises, maybe even gifts. You feel relieved. But then the cycle starts again. What's really going on? This is called intermittent reinforcement, and it's the same thing that makes slot machines addictive. Stay with me here because this is important. If a slot machine paid out every single time, you'd get bored. If it never paid out, you'd walk away. But when it pays out sometimes, randomly, unpredictably, you can't stop playing. Your brain gets hooked on chasing that next win. Now apply that to relationships. If he was terrible all the time, you'd leave. If he was great all the time, you'd feel secure and calm. But this pattern good, bad, keeps you hooked. When he's sweet, your brain releases feel-good chemicals. When he pulls away, those chemicals crash, and you feel anxious, desperate, obsessed. When he comes back, the relief is so intense that your brain basically says, "This is what we've been waiting for," and you forgive everything. This is why you can't stop thinking about him. This is why you check your phone constantly. This is why you analyze every text. It's not because you're crazy or clingy. It's because your brain is literally in the same state as someone addicted to gambling. And here's the dark part. Some guys do this on purpose. There are actual forums and dating coaches that teach men to be hot and cold to keep women obsessed. Even if he's not doing it intentionally, the effect on you is the same. You're not building a relationship, you're riding an emotional roller coaster. And here's what happens. You start blaming yourself. You think, what did I do differently when he was happy? What did I do wrong when he pulled away? So you start changing yourself, walking on eggshells, trying to be perfect, so he'll stay in the good phase. But love shouldn't be something you have to earn over and over again. You shouldn't have to audition for someone's affection every week. Healthy love is consistent. It's stable. It's a safe place, not a guessing game. And I need you to hear this. His hot and cold behavior has nothing to do with you. You could be absolutely perfect, and the pattern would continue, because it's about him, his issues, his patterns, his inability or unwillingness to show up consistently. You feel alone even when he's right next to you. He's there physically, but emotionally, it's like talking to a wall. Conversations stay surface level. When you try to share something deep, a fear, a dream, something you're excited about, he changes the subject, gives you a one-word answer, or literally picks up his phone. You feel lonelier with him than you do when you're actually by yourself. What's really going on? This is emotional unavailability, and it's one of the most painful things you can experience in a relationship. Because you're with someone, technically, but you don't have a real partner. You're alone, but you can't even fully feel that loneliness because you're supposed to be in a relationship. Sometimes this happens because he learned early on that emotions are dangerous. Maybe his family didn't do feelings, or he got hurt before and built walls. His brain literally sees vulnerability as a threat, so he shuts down. It's not always malicious. But sometimes, and this is the darker side, emotional distance is a control tactic. By keeping you at arm's length emotionally, he keeps you wanting more. You try harder, share more, work to break through his walls. Meanwhile, he stays comfortable and protected. You're vulnerable, he's not. That's a power imbalance. This creates what's called a pursuer-distancer pattern. The more you seek connection, the more he backs away. The more he backs away, the harder you try. It feels like passion or intensity, but it's actually just dysfunction on repeat. Why it matters. Being lonely in a relationship is worse than being single. And I mean that literally, studies show that people who feel disconnected in relationships experience more depression and anxiety than single people do. Why? Because you're experiencing rejection, but being told you're loved. Your reality and your feelings don't match up, And that's confusing and painful. Your body registers emotional absence the same way it registers physical pain. That empty feeling in your chest, that's real. Your nervous system is telling you that you're not safe, not seen, not valued. And you shouldn't ignore that. Think about it. What's the point of a relationship where you can't be yourself? Where you have to keep things light and surface level? Where your feelings are too much? That's not intimacy. That's two people in the same room, living separate lives. Red flags don't always scream at you. Most of the time, they whisper. They show up as a feeling in your gut, a nagging sense that something's off, a loneliness you can't quite explain. But when you understand what's really happening, the psychology behind these patterns, you stop making excuses. You stop explaining away behavior that you know deep down isn't okay. Love isn't supposed to make you doubt yourself. A real partner doesn't leave you feeling crazy or alone or like you're always the problem. Trust yourself. That voice inside you that's been trying to tell you something, it's been right all along. You deserve someone who takes responsibility, someone who validates your reality, someone whose love is consistent, not a roller coaster, someone who makes you feel less alone, not more. Stop waiting for him to change. Start listening to yourself. Follow for more honest relationship advice, because understanding what's really going on changes everything. XOXO.